What's up, everyone? This is Virginia Tech student reporter Jason Florian, and this is my profile story on lacrosse goalkeeper Aaliyah Jones. To start it off, you should know that Aaliyah is originally from Austin, Texas, and she went out of state to pursue her academic and athletic career at Stony Brook University. She recently transferred to Virginia Tech from Long Island, New York. Here is what she had to say about the change.
Adapting to Virginia Tech has been very smooth. Being in Blacksburg is very luxurious to me personally. The weather's more temperate, so you get a lot more sun compared to being in Long Island. So that's really nice just because I'm a Texas native. And then obviously the facilities here are elite, and we have lots of great resources from nutrition to sports psych to, even just the coaches and the girls here. The transition has been really, really pleasing for me. And then in regards to just like transferring here and adjusting to being part of an ACC program, it's been a pleasure.
Seeing as to how different Stony Brook is to Virginia Tech, I wanted to know what kind of skills, experiences, and personality Aaliyah would bring to the Virginia Tech lacrosse team. This is what she had to say.
I was at a program. We were a ranked program. Stony Brook was known for their grittiness, kind of blue-collar mentality when it came to the sport. A lot of kids were recruited to other schools, but they weren't quite recruited to like ACC level schools. So there was just that like extra edge to all of us at Stony Brook and within our coaching staff. And I think one thing that I really brought here was just that kind of competitive edge, chippy. And I've always kind of had that being from a traditional area, but definitely walking into a school program like Virginia Tech, who's kind of, been kind of in and out of the top 25 rankings. I kind of came here and try to bring that, experience of being with a program that's high level and trying to kind of, push my teammates towards that kind of competitive edge that can kind of bring you towards being part of the NCAA tournament and, competing for, conference championships and stuff like that.
Many athletes approach leadership roles differently, but it's always clear to see in games who influences their teammates the most. Here's Aaliyah's view on her leadership role within the team.
It's weird. Sometimes I don't even really see myself as a leader. I'm not super vocal. I try to lead by example. That's kind of always been my, forte, is just to lead by example. And, I don't tell people what to do. I challenge people and I try to, force people to kind of see out things outside of their own minds through my actions more than anything. And, I speak up when, it's really needed and really appropriate and necessary for us to kind of proceed forward, or if we're, having a tough time. But I'm really tough on myself. So, I think that's, helping myself in that respect kind of indirectly helps my teammates for sure.
In her first season at Virginia Tech, Aaliyah has faced over 300 shots, and she has managed to step up to this challenge by completing over 100 saves. The ACC has certainly proved to be a challenge, and Jones has truly stepped up. She addressed these numbers by saying,
I think the coaches and my teammates do such a good job of just emulating what I'm going to see in games and practices, and even in the fall, like I was able to get a lot of reps and put in a lot of extra work. So right now, while we are in season and like people are getting to see those stats and like keep up with our wins and losses and stuff, right now it's the fun part for me. It's not, I'm trying to force anything. I'm just piecing together everything that I learned throughout the fall, all of the things that I kind of worked through then, and now I'm just enjoying myself. So, but I think one thing that kind of has helped me in this process is just working on my mental game.
To gain a direct insight on what kind of leader and teammate Aaliyah Jones is, I spoke to Grace New, an attacker for the lacrosse team.
I think Aaliyah, she kind of said this as well, but her example that she puts on in practice, like outside of practice, in games, of just being like, we call it like dog energy, But she just has this amazing grit and want to be there. Her work ethic is insane. And I think it just makes other people want to lock in more and put their best foot forward, but also outside of practice, they want to put in those extra reps so that they can, get a stick on a shot coming towards Aaliyah, because they know how hard she works and they want to help her as best they can and lead her to success, get those saves, because obviously she's skilled enough to do it on her own, but it's always nice to have a defense help them in that aspect a little more too.
Grace also shared how secure the team feels while Aaliyah Jones is in goal, especially during those intense 8-meter shots that happen so frequently in a lacrosse game.
Aaliyah is great on the 8 meters. So the 8-meter shot is the foul. If you make a foul inside of the 8-meter on defense, then the attacker gets to take a shot. And it's kind of, there is some defensive play in it, right? They can get like a stick on it. They can try to beat the attacker to the space that they're going to. But Aaliyah is very good at the 8-meter shots. We do it at least once or twice a week in practice. And she has a lot of girls' numbers when they take the 8 meters. So we are really confident on the 8 meters. And you'll definitely see the attack inch it back to get ready for the clear when she makes that save.
The sports information director for the lacrosse team, Carter Brown, was able to express the importance of having a strong character like Aaliyah Jones at Virginia Tech.
I would say she's very composed. I know you got a chance to meet with her, and she didn't seem to get too high or get too low. And I think that's really special because, especially at her position, sometimes you're going to give up a goal, other times you're going to make a great save, and you just have to be ready for the next opportunity. And so if one of your leaders, one of the older players, can be as composed as she is and kind of stand back there and guard the goal and lead the defense, then I think that speaks volumes for the team. From watching her from afar and seeing the way she's trained and hearing the coaches talk about her and just what a calming influence she's been, and obviously her stats speak for themselves. You and I were at the game and we watched her rack up 9, 10, 11 saves in a row. Her pedigree kind of speaks for itself, and we knew when she signed that she was going to be a big part of this team.
Finally, just out of curiosity, I questioned Aaliyah Jones about the meaning of her jersey number, and her answer was very meaningful in many ways.
I was number 3 at Stony Brook, and that symbolized a lot of different things, more biblical, more religious kind of things, which is why I chose that number when I was at Stony Brook. And actually, I transferred schools 3 times, and Stony Brook was my 3rd school, so I found a lot of meaning in that number. And I'm not usually one to have a preference, but I kind of got a choice, and that was kind of the most appropriate number for me. And then I transferred here, and I was kind of just thinking back to my life up until this point, and the people who've had influence on me. A lot of people like to, wear their favorite players' numbers. And one of my favorite players in, high school and in middle school was actually Kobe Bryant, which everyone loves Kobe Bryant. He just had this, mentality unlike any person that's been in the sport. And people know him for his 24 and his number 8, but no one really knows that his number was 33 in high school, and that's where it all started for him. And I thought, man, that would be really cool, to just kind of go back, and kind of appreciate that time. And for me, just going back and using that number as a symbol to, kind of tap into my high school career. I wasn't number 33 in high school, but I think that number reminds me of kind of what led me to here, which was putting in all that work, showing up. I did have that mindset a lot when I was in high school, waking up at 5 in the morning, just sacrificing a lot for my family and for myself to really be able to play at this level, not coming from a hotbed. But yeah, Kobe back in '94, balling out, doing his thing, and that's how he got to NBA. So I don't know. That's probably my main reason. And then we also have 33 girls on the team, so that's added a little bit more meaning and value to that number. Coach likes to say there's a power in 33. So I don't know, gives me even more meaning, which is why I put my hands across my chest before I go out on every game, on the field every game. So, and every single girl means the world to me. So, yeah.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I encourage you to watch the next Virginia Tech lacrosse match.